1200 is 1000 shaft only. There's no 540 on the 1200s.
One ball is to -7.
-7. There is some evidence of, let's call it, a previous incident. That is the 1000 shaft from a tower. Let me explain that. What's wrong, the valve leaking?
So much as no.
Put the air in, it gets back out. Right, welcome back to another video. Now, as you can see, the hat is on. It's actually quite a decent day today. You can see out there. There's Scotland away over there in the distance. But it's very cold. And the temperatures are to drop tonight to well into the minuses. So, one of the first jobs of today, and there's going to be quite a few, is to check these tractors for antifreeze. Now, most of them should be fine. I did change the radiator, or the water in the radiator on this tractor a long time ago, and I can't remember if there's antifreeze in it. There should be, I think there is. But we'll get a few of them out of the way, because I need to go and lift some round bales as well. And then we'll get them all checked for antifreeze. So that's probably one of the first jobs we'll do today. Another job we'll do is go get some bales, because when it's going to be snow and ice, we normally stock up on bales. And there's a reason for that. I'll go and explain why that is. But it always ends in chaos if we don't. So let me show you. Hopefully you can hear me. I know it's a bit windy and I don't have the microphone. That's the main yard here that leads from the old farmyard to the new farmyard. And as you can see, it's pretty steep. When we get frost and ice and snow, it's, let's just say, it's almost, impassable. Very slippy. Even in the four-wheel drive, a few times I've went down there and they went down a lot faster than I hoped. And a few times I've tried to get up and I didn't get up at all. And there is some evidence of, let's call it, a previous incident. And you can see here on the wall, you can see that there. That was me a good few years ago, I have to say. I was coming up the yard here with a load of turf on. It was wet, as the yard is now. We had the trailer parked down there, the big bale trailer that we have, sitting with a load of old timber on it. I was going up the yard and I had the 4-cylinder. Got to this, I don't know, up past the gate, started to spin, put in the brakes, and the whole trailer just came all the way down, slid back. You're just a passenger, and crashed into the wall there. And I think that's about 30 years ago. That's before we had the 590, and the 590 came in 1994. So it's around maybe 93, 92. So yeah, it's got to be upwards than 30 years ago. Anyway, enough about that. Back to today's video. There's one sure thing you're guaranteed of around here, and that is as soon as you go to do a job, this starts. Now, suppose we When you have a shed full of tractors with a cab, why would you take the one without? I know, but there's a reason. One, I want to see what this is like with a load of round bales on it. That's a probably good enough excuse. Two, 3075 is blowing out smoke from the exhaust gasket there. Manifold gasket is leaking, so I don't want to take that. D90T, bad battery. I'll have to start the whole session getting it started. Could take the 590, I suppose, but it means moving to 65, and I'm too lazy for that. So yeah, 6090 would be a good choice. But anyway, the real reason is, truth be told, I just want to see what this is like with a load of round bales on it. 212 engine in this tractor, and I know it can pull, but I want to see what it's like with that. I'm going to put 7 or 8 round bales on the back, so it'll be a good load coming up that steep, up the, we call it the now, over the top of the now. It's pretty steep. I just want to see how this wee tractor does. That's my real reason, if I'm being honest. I could get the rest of them going, no problem, but anyway, hopefully fairing up a little bit. Yeah, should do. Oh, the big nasty shower there, you just see it over the top there, just come to the top of the sea, away off to Scotland, so you can go way over there and annoy people. But it actually was starting to snow there. Well, it wasn't snow, it was more like a frozen rain, not hail, but like a sleet, I suppose you could say, just a wee bit of it there, but so that's that starting. So anyway, we'll get these bales up. I think what we'll do is get the bales up first, and then we'll check all these tractors for antifreeze. That's the plan. Now we have an antifreeze testing thing, but can't seem to find it, so anyway, the old boy's away hunting for it. God knows what that is, but it'll turn up eventually. Maybe 2027 or something, but we'll get it there. Anyway, right, enough yapping. It's faired up. Going to get going here on the 165 and head off and get them bales. That's the next job. Truth be told, another reason why I'm using the 165 and not 62, 65 is because it saves you hooking it on, hooking it off again to load it. But that's going to be taking a bale away with that as well. So yeah, I'm trying to find as many excuses as I can to use the 165. Anyway, first bale on, another 8 to go, I think. I thought I would just show you this. That is, I think there's 35 ewe lambs in here, some big and some small, and he's just teaching them to feed here before they go They'll be going off to the mountain, I think. So yeah, he's teaching them he's feeding them hay and a wee bit of hay in there as well, and feeding them nuts as well. So he is 30, I think 35 he said in here. I don't think he's going to keep them all, he'll probably sell some of them, but a few of the black wool ones in there. I don't know what that thing is over there, multicoloured thing. But anyway, right, back to the loading bales. That's enough sheep for one video. Wrong, the valve leaking?
Mm-hmm.
That's not much use.
No.
Put the air in and it gets back out. And that's bust now because Dad's trying to fix a dodgy valve in that wheel that's leaking air. And so I'm going to go down and set up a few bales. Now the reason we're going for 2 loads is because, oh, there's behind me. I was waffling away there and he's behind me. We're going for 2 loads because if it's going to be cold and frosty and snowy, that'll do us a little while and we don't have to worry about going and getting them. So we're just going to get 2 loads while it helps here. I'm here in this tractor and he's in the other. So we'll go get these bales. Right, see you down at the bale stack. Keep going. Keep going. I'll do. Oh, I'll do. Another load of bales up with the mighty 165. So what we're going to do now is stick that tractor in the shed. The rain's on there, as you can see, and looks to be a bit of a shower coming. So we'll then get stuck into trying to test them for antifreeze. Now we have a wee tester here, but we can't find it, so that's not much good. We'll go and see if we can dig it out. Right, that's the bales up. So what I'm going to do now, next job, is to get into these tractors and see who has antifreeze and who doesn't have antifreeze. So I think they all have, I said earlier in the video, but at best check. So we'll do that. Bit of a boring job, so I'm not sure I'll really video that. I'll just tell you how we get on, but I'll start looking at them. We have a tester somewhere, apparently, which you put in, and I don't know how it works, but Dad says there's a tester for it, but can't seem to put my hands on it.
See, there's nothing there.
Right.
And then you see the colour.
What?
See the colour, the antifreeze. Blue.
Yeah. So what does that mean? What's all that mean?
Well, that is, there's one ball up. One ball up.
It looks like there's antifreeze in it. I can tell you that from here.
But one ball is to -7.
To -7.
Aye.
Right.
2 is to -15. Well, we would only need
-7.
well, there's antifreeze in that
Jar.
that Mr.
Is that one ball? That mean that one ball there? Is that what that
Yes.
is? Right.
You see, I put this back in again now.
Strange contraption, in all honesty.
We put antifreeze in this last year.
I think we did. Let me see what it's saying. What's it saying? Red above the line, is it again?
Aye.
Just about.
You should drop antifreeze out, but it's not as strong as what it should be.
Right, okay, so that needs topped up.
You need to put about probably a litre in.
A litre of antifreeze?
Aye, and both of them.
Right, okay. On another note, you'll see lying on the floor here, that is the 1000 shaft from a tarp. Let me explain that. Right, so what the box I have in my tarp, because hopefully going to get a bit of a silage day going on in 2026, or maybe a couple of silage days. We'll see how it goes. But the shaft, or the box I have in my tarp, is a 540 box, and this here is a 1000 box. So I can't run the 540 on the 1200. 1200, which is back there, is 1200 is 1000 shaft only. There's no 540 on the 1200. So if I want to run the tarp on the 1200, I need a 1000 shaft. So that's why I have a 1000 shaft lying in the middle of the floor. I just need to lift it out of the way with a forklift. I'll set it in one of the other sheds out of the way, but for now it's kind of stuck there. So there you go. So that explains that, I hope. Right, I have the second part of my PTO on the back there. Not exactly the best way, but that'll do. So we'll throw this up into the shed, and that'll be that job done. Stop beeping at me. As they taking that PTO, splitting that PTO, as they made that a lot lighter. It's actually easier to handle. A bit heavy. Anyway, we'll throw it in here in front of the harvester, and then we know where it is. There's a few guardrails that the fella sent up. It was very kind of him as well, which I need, and he spotted that if you've seen the video, and he gave me the guardrails for it, so that was decent. Let me get this in here. Right. Stop beeping. I'll open the door. I think it's probably the handiest way. I'll not get it in with the door closed, that's for sure. What am I going to do? Alright, we'll do that. Right, there we go. That is the drive shaft, the 1000 shaft in there for the, we'll set it in there out of the way. And that is going in, or going on there, I should say. So that's a 540, take that off, put the 1000 on, and it means then I can drive that with the 1200. That would be some bit of crack now. If I can, now I need to put an orbital valve up there to spin that, take that off. There's a lot to do to get this thing sorted out, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. And that's for maybe 2026 silage day. The fella got that off. He also sent me the guardrail for there, which was very kind of him. And I think there's also maybe a guardrail goes over here. See where I'm pointing at? Sorry, there and there. So that was kind of him. And thank you for sending me that. And that'll be that. So we'll get that done. That's a job for another day. So, right, anyway, enough about tarps. Back to today's jobs. Right, another job I need to get done here. You can see the trailer in the distance. I want to get this trailer out of the field before it gets too wet, and it might be too wet already, but that is soft there. We need this out because if we don't get it out now, it'll be stuck in there because it'll be too wet. I could maybe use the digger, which might work, but I think the battery's dead in that digger because somebody left it on, not me. What's it like here? It's actually not too bad here. I can get in there alright with the tractor. Lift that and chooses this way here. Really mighty. It's wet there, let's see that. Yeah. Anyway, we'll risk it. We'll risk it. Let's go get though. I think probably the best tractor for that job is the 165. That's on there, and I don't think we're making too big a mess. I hope not. A wee bit there, but at least it gets the trailer out. Yeah, right, okay. You know, I got out there pretty clean, to be honest. There's a wee bit there just to fix. That's not too bad. We can roll that in the spring of the year, but in general I got out of there pretty good. There's another wee job. I'm going to need a digger for that because I won't get in here in the forklift. Lift that up, set it over, and we'll get it, what's the word, not steam cleaned, shot blast it and paint it. So that'll be that. Right, got that trailer out there with zero impact really. Wasn't expecting that, and I know if I'd have gone in there with the 3075 or any of the other 4-wheel drives, they're just that bit heavier, they would have made a hash there, for sure they would have, I know they would have. And the good old 165 just dodged in there, no bother, never really made a mark.